Some will often tell you that people don't work because they don't want to work. I don't accept that. I believe that everyone has an inherent desire for a high quality of life and a deep capacity to do for themselves to achieve that goal. They just need the conditions and environment to be able to do that. Conditions in Memphis are very challenging for many right now. Memphis is one of the poorest metropolitan areas, with 25% of our residents living in poverty, and 20,000 opportunity youth. That is, individuals age 21 to 24 who are not working, not in school. I suggest that many of these individuals are not doing these things not because they don't want to, but because they can't get there. See, Memphis is deceptively big. In terms of land area, Memphis's geographic footprint is actually the same size or larger than major cities like Austin, Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, and New York City. But with regard to population, Memphis has a population of about 650,000 versus 8.2 million in New York. This smaller number of people spread across a large area creates transportation challenges. It takes energy and resources to get from point A to point B because they're far apart. Jobs in Memphis are spread across a great distance. Nearly 50% of the jobs in Memphis are 10 to 35 miles outside of the central business district. And in a recent chamber survey of unemployed and underemployed Memphians, nearly 2/3 indicated that they needed to use public transportation in order to get to and from work. Transportation is a trade-off between time and money. There's a tension there. The more money you have, the more options and the less time it takes to get from A to B. Time that people who don't have the means have to invest, that they could be spending doing so many other things, trying to build towards the quality of life, whether it's educational, time with their families, or other developmental opportunities within the city. In my role as a business consultant, I took a meeting with Jay Martin, a local philanthropist, who, like me, believes that people have an endless capacity to do for themselves in the right environment and with the right conditions. Jay has been investing in Memphis for decades, significantly in workforce preparedness programs, but he was growing increasingly frustrated seeing these people, young folks, engaged, energetic, putting themselves out there, going through these programs, acquiring the skills necessary to be successful in career positions, but time and time again, either failing to get those jobs or losing them because of unreliable transportation. Jay wanted to do something different. He wanted to come up with a better way. He wanted to build a new kind of nonprofit, different from any other that we'd seen. A nonprofit that, rather than providing free assistance and getting funding from philanthropists, actually leveraged the people gaining the benefit and used their capacity to drive sustainability for that organization. A nonprofit that did not rely on philanthropists, but relied on those receiving the services. So, what does this magical new nonprofit look like? We didn't really know either, but Jay asked me to join him in building this. And so we started looking globally. And as we looked at how the world gets to work, we settled on a slightly different kind of magical ride. We landed on scooters. Efficient, economic, easy to maintain scooters. Scooters that can travel comfortably at 60 miles an hour, moving with the flow of traffic, covering that ground that Memphis has got so much of. Scooters that get 89 miles to the gallon, where a $4 fill-up will keep you rolling all week long. Scooters for people of a variety of ages, genders, sizes, and best of all, scooters that are fun. Scooters that help solve for what is quite often the largest challenge or obstacle many in the community face, and solve for it in a way that provides empowerment and autonomy and brings joy while doing it. This is what we built that new organization upon. Scooters is where we started with MyCityRides. The next step was to pull together a small team of like-minded rock stars to help build this entity and to put together a program that includes everything that someone needs to successfully own and operate one of these vehicles. Program that gets them knowledgeable, comfortable, licensed, insured, and street legal. Scooter operators, a program that leans into the individuals participating, that relies upon their willingness to commit, their resilience, and their ownership mentality. What we wanted to do was take the highly transactional process of purchasing a vehicle and make it relational, smoothing out the bureaucratic obstacles, helping people navigate the system and have successful experiences in purchasing these vehicles. So, who among us in Memphis is going to hop on a scooter and have that be their solution for transportation? Millennials, right? That's what we were thinking, but as it turns out, we have a wide variety of flyers participating in the program, and many of them look like this. So what we realized was we didn't know what we didn't know. So we invested in systems and processes to monitor everything about the organization, from how people navigate or matriculate through the program, where they drop out, how the machines are performing, where the machines are, how people are riding those machines and where they're going. Everything that we needed to know in order to make good database decisions, because we've got a great idea here that we think is bigger than Memphis. So what are our flyers like? They're 40% female. They come in all shapes and sizes. They come from a diverse economic backgrounds. And our riders are older than we thought. Sure, we've got millennials like Tim, who was on the screen before. We've got a lot of them, but our largest cohort of riders is in their 50s or older. Who knew? A really wonderful and surprising aspect that we learned is that we have a large number of familial providers who are participating in the program. That is, people who are living in households with 3 or more people. What's happening here is those folks, not only are they receiving the benefit of this empowerment and the time back to build the quality of their life, but those around them are benefiting from that as well. Think about how much more time that is to help with homework or to go to a ball game, to be there. So, how are we doing with those folks? Well, we've been at it for about 9 months, and we've put 86 flyers out on the road with a 90% success rate of keeping them on the road. Collectively, they've ridden over 65,000 miles and saved $40,000. And if you notice, this is the same map from earlier, they're where the jobs are. The distribution of our flyers across the map is roughly equivalent to the distribution of jobs. This particular snapshot was taken on a Tuesday morning during the workday. So we're seeing success. The numbers are telling us good things, but that's really only half of it. The really great part are the lives that are being transformed and the stories that we're hearing and learning. I'd like to introduce you to Brian. Brian is a flyer of ours who's been with us for about 6 months. When he joined us, he was working in a temporary position in the warehouse district, and we saw him a lot. But one day, he came in and shared with us that his position had been eliminated, and he didn't know quite what to do. He was caring for one young son with another on the way and was desperate to break the cycle of temporary employment. Knowing Brian like we did, we were able to introduce him to one of our employer partners. Brian had an interview, landed the job, now has a full-time permanent position with advancement opportunities. Professional goals being met. We're also seeing personal goals being set and met by our flyers at rates faster than they would have imagined. Let me let Brittany tell you about it.
MyCityRides has been a great investment. Having my own scooter, knowing that when it's all said and done, I actually get to keep my scooter is awesome. With having a second job and being able to get there, I'm actually saving about $200 a month, which saving has never been so easy for me. I personally think that MyCityRides is basically allowing everybody in the city to ride. I mean, I don't think that's a deal that you can actually beat.
MyCityRides has been wonderful for her and has helped her maintain not one, but 2 jobs. Additionally, I just learned yesterday, Brittany received a promotion that required her to move around the city more, and she's going to do that on her scooter. There are so many more Brians and Brittany's. So many more lives we can positively impact. And I ask you to consider the dozens that have already been impacted by this program and the possibilities for programs like it, and to join us in the belief that everyone has an endless capacity to do for themselves. They just need the right environment and conditions to thrive. Thank you.